Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful Fibercast. Today's date is July 25th, 2014. My name is Lynn Marquedant, and I'm your host. So welcome to Fibercast, where all we do is sew or play with fiber. And we always find out it's amazing what we can do in 60 minutes. So welcome. Hi to everyone who are returning, and hi to our new folks. I'm so glad you could join me. Today I'm going to be machine quilting. And before I begin, if anyone happens to see Cindy Ramos online, that's why I'm 2 minutes late. I saw that she's looking to see how to watch this live. If you happen to see her, maybe send her the Google link and just tell her she needs a Google account. Beyond that, I don't know how to help other than hunt and peck if I were right there with her. So anyway, hopefully Cindy will join us soon, and hello, and thank you to anyone else who might be able to help her. Again, tonight I'm going to do machine quilting. I had a wonderful week, and last week when I left you, I was going to do the Mayhem mystery, which I did. And we had such fun. I went over to Sarah's, I Skyped with my sister Karen, and we made a quilt. We had the first clue on Friday night, and by 3 o'clock the following Saturday, so 3 o'clock just last Saturday, so less than 24 hours, we had all of the clues. And there were 7 clues, and I have them very well written, easy to understand, one-pagers each one, highly recommend it, and it's a great quilt to practice my machine quilting. So I thought what I would do, and it has a picnicky look, which you'll see in a minute. So I hope to use it literally on the beach or at the fireworks in August, or just, this is going to be a quilt that's going to get used, and it's really a practice quilt. So one of the things, for example, you may remember from last week, I used all fabric from my stash. And as Sarah, if you're out there, Sarah was joking with me about how my fabric was, my pieces of fabric were my friends, because I literally can tell you where each piece of fabric came from, and kind of even surprised myself about where each piece came from. But so I'll show you that in a minute too. But before I get to that, I wanted you to know that I also pieced the batting inside. They were bigger pieces than this, but nice, you know, cotton, warm and natural. And so I just put butted pieces up together, and then I zigzagged it all the way across. So not only did I use fabric from my stash, but I used the the innards. You know, my niece and my cousin were joking with me that I'm not an ad-lib kind of girl, and it's probably right. And right now, the word I'm looking for is batting. Batting. I pieced my batting. Okay, so that's all good, and I have my sandwich quilt here that I'll show you in a minute. Now, to prepare, for anyone who has, and I'm a relatively new machine quilter, but I thought that I would just share with you a reminder of how I get started with my Bernina and my Bernina stitch regulator. The stitch regulator is that special foot that plugs in to my machine underneath here, and it feeds information into the computer to regulate the stitch depending on how fast I move the fabric. And there are 2 modes, which I'll talk about in a minute, and I think I understand those 2 modes now. So I have the stitch regulator on. I also have 3 different thread colors, again from my pretty limited thread stash. I'm going to try to match the thread to what I'm quilting on, because again, I'm free-form quilting, and I really don't want it to stick out. And when I do my ant, for example, on my quilt, if maybe it only has 1 antenna instead of 2, I don't want it to stick way out. So on the blue parts, I'm going to use this blue. On the areas where I have variegated, I'm going to use this King Tut, what is it? Yeah, Superior Threads King Tut. And then this one for the white, although even though it's an off-white variegated, I'm still going to use it. And this is Alabaster King Tut, and this is Joseph's Coat King Tut. And then I have for my needle, I have my top stitch 90-14, and that's exactly what it says underneath here I should be using, 90-14. So with any luck, the thread thickness and attributes match the needle. So that's another part of the battle. And I did just change the needle, so it's a brand new needle. By the way, I don't know where you all put your needles, but these are wonderful catch-alls for needles. So when it's a pill bottle, and you can just put your needles in there and then throw it away. That way you know when you put it in the trash, no one's going to hurt themselves. So those are my three colors. And then the other thing before we get started is, because it's a picnic quilt, I was thinking of all of the different things that we have for a picnic. Ants, ice cream, watermelon, yada, yada, yada. So that's what I'm going to do, is on each little square I'm going to try to quilt one of those things. So let's get started. And again, welcome everyone. If you have any questions or want to share what you're working on, please send it to me at lmarquedant@gmail.com, or put the comment into Google or Facebook, and I have my iPad and my phone here, and I'll look at it periodically. So with that, let us get to the actual threading. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blue area first. So, and I have a bobbin already filled for each of my three colors. So just what you want to do is see me thread, but I wanted to show you the three different colors of thread. Put my blue in. This is front loading, like most of the machines I've ever had. I think all of the machines I've ever used have been front loading. I don't think I've ever had a top down. Is that true? No, my Singer is top down. Oh, if my friend Karen B is out there, thank you for sending me the picture of the 1911 Singer today. She sent it to me this afternoon, said it was $25 down at a local quilt store. And I passed it up because it just didn't have, if it were a 201 or a 301 Singer, I would have jumped on it, but it had the old shuttle bobbin, and I just have never had good luck with that. Whoops. There's that. Okay. So I'm going to put the mouse way over there. You don't need to see that anymore. And let me show you the Merry Mayhem quilt. This is what we put together last weekend. And this white is the bottom of cotton curtains from my mother-in-law. She had cut them off, and they were in the pile of fabric. So Carol, we still have some left when we make that quilt, but I used some of it here. The green came from my sister Karen, from her stash from years ago. I may have taken it home when we did Bonnie's Celtic Solstice last fall. The red was a fabric from 1999 that I'd given to my mother, and it was in her attic for 10 years. And in the last couple of years when I went back, she gave me it back, and I washed it, and it's now there. And the blue and the motif that's the kind of the beachy theme, campy theme, was in a stash from, I think, well, this is from Joann's. I think this is from, I'm not sure where that's from, maybe Franklin Mill, a quilt store that I have had for many, many years that I was going to make into a beach quilt. So, oh, and I had enough of the blue on the back that I just did the pure blue because which reminds me, that's probably the only bobbin I want to use. But I wanted it to be dark because, again, this is going to be put on the grass and washed and everything, so I figured rather than playing with piecing a back, I'd just make it blue. So I have pinned it all, as you can see, with my safety pins. That's all I do. Used to baste it, and it would take hours. This pinning takes, probably took me, well, I don't know, maybe an hour to pin this. Oh, and someone just came to the door. Hopefully they'll go downstairs. Bob's having band downstairs. Okay, let me go to, talk about not having a plan. So the types of things that I thought I would try, and I looked up on the iPad, so I have some ideas for what they look like. I said ants, watermelon, oh, an ice cream cone and a Dairy Queen logo, because we often go to the Dairy Queen. Fireworks, a hot dog, soda, beer, wine. Maybe I'll do that. What I thought was in each of these little open areas, that's where I'm going to do just a little motif and have fun with it. And the ants, I thought, we could have those kind of going all over it. So whenever I'm at a loss for what to put in there, I'll use an ant. Glow stick, camera, and I would love your ideas of what to put on a picnic quilt. Speaking of which, I just heard a hello. Hey, Chris! Well, hello, and thank you for joining. Chris says she's watching us and she's unpacking her studio. That is wonderful. Many of you may have remembered I have been talking about Chris and her daughter Abby. If Abby's there, hi Abby.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm live on Fibercast. I'm broadcasting from my studio. Can you either come up here and come on camera, or I'll see you at 9?
I'll see you at 9.
Okay, sounds good. Bye. Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, hi, Chris. Hi. I hope I didn't blow everyone's ears out. That was really funny. Anyway, Chris and Abby are in the final throes of moving, and it's so exciting. And Chris actually from Dockside Quilting has a long armor, a gamel in her basement. So if anyone needs any of that, she does excellent work. Oh, and I hope you're watching on the big screen from your studio. So welcome. Well, let me keep going here. Or basically, let's jump in and do one thing so that we get our feet wet. And I've got blue thread, so I'm going to go to a blue square in the middle. I always start from the middle and I work my way out. And just for kicks, let us do an ant. Oh, I love these gloves. I don't know if long armors use them. Well, probably not, because you use the machine. But I love these gloves. In fact, you'll see I have holes in them. They have the grippers on them. Oh, and before I started this, I also looked online for some drawings that quilters had used to do ants. And there are some neat ones out there. I'm doing the body. It occurs to me this may be as exciting as watching paint dry to watch me do this, but it's what I have on the docket. And I want to use it at a picnic in August. So I just did the body, and I did the eyeball, and now I'm going to go down and somehow do the feet. That doesn't sound good. Ah, and my thread just broke. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on here. Lift the needle up. Sorry, everyone. Let's see what the other side looks like. And where are my scissors? Okay, so it's blue variegated thread, so we can see it pretty well. I can see it, but I wonder if you all can. Not really. Well, there's an ant there. There's the back part of the ant. Let me get my scissors and find out how to fix it. Boy, I may very quickly go to meandering again. No, I won't. I'll keep going because this is going to be fun. Looks like it got a double thread in there. All right. Let's just open this up. Oh, this week, Tammy, if you're out there, thank you for sharing your pictures of your students. Tammy has been teaching 8-year-olds to 13-year-olds how to quilt. And she posted pictures of each of their quilts, and it was a 4-block quilt, so it taught them lots of different techniques. And it looked like they were having so much fun, and you could just tell the excitement on their faces when they were holding up their quilts. They enjoyed it. Several years ago, when I was in my rug hooking phase, which I'll get back to, I taught kids that age rug hooking up at the Cultural Arts Alliance here in town. And Jean, if you're there, Maddie and Sam were there, and I have to tell you, without getting too mushy, that experience of teaching those kids was probably one of the best I've ever had. They came after school, and they just were just a nice group of kids, and they enjoyed it. They played in the scraps. We literally had big piles of wool scraps, and they could draw what they wanted to hook, and we literally sat around a table and hooked. And you know, not having children of my own, I probably was very interested, I know I was, in just hearing what they were talking about and their excitement. And so, Tammy, good for you. I think that's great. And actually, that reminds me, I've been thinking about it a little bit, because where I work, we are being asked to do volunteering. And in the Worcester, Massachusetts area, there is a set, it's kind of like a Boy Scouts or a Girl Scouts organization. It's called Curiosity Hacked, H-A-C-K-E-D, like security, you know, or computer hacking. And it's for STEAM education, so science, technology, engineering, math, and then arts, right? And you put those together, the skills that people need in the new world with all this big data that's coming available around us are really what we're going to need in the future. So in the Worcester area, there is this program called Curiosity Hacked, where students can earn badges after school by taking different hands-on learning activities. So whether it's nature identification or woodworking or computer programming, I was going to say hacking, sewing or whatever it could be, they get credit. So I have put my name in a hat to actually teach a simple quilting class, and I pitched it as a way to teach kids about decision making and math, decision making and math. And it occurred to me that when we quilt, there are and planning is probably the third thing that it will teach. There are so many decisions that you make along the course of making a quilt, and corrections, and then of course there's math the whole way through. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. That is my plan. It's up near the Worcester Technical High School, which you may have heard the President of the United States came and gave the commencement speech there this spring. So they're doing some innovative things, and I thought that would be fun and different. So again, Tammy, I applaud what you're doing. Keep it up. And I haven't done much quilting because I got thread stuck in here, and then it got stuck on my quilting here. But I'm almost back and ready to rock and roll. Huh. Let's just say the ants are not marching very fast right now. Okay, let's try this again. If for some reason it doesn't work, I'm going to go to my superior thread and give that a try. But I think this will work. Another thing I'm not very conscientious about is beginning and ending my quilting. I do have a knot function. Cindy, if you're on, that's sign language. That secures it at the beginning and the end. But I don't usually pull up both threads to the front, and I should, but this is really going to be just a homemade quilt. And where are my... Well, we'll do it without gloves. We can do it. Okay, let's get some feet on you. Oh, we can do some real motion by showing feet going a different way. I kicked up the last foot, so it looks like he's running. Okay, so far so good. So that's an ant. What should we do next? We're going to go right into the next area here. Let's see. Oh, no, we're not. What am I going to do here? I just did a swirl. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up and go over here, and let's do a firework. That'll be pretty free-flowing. I almost want to say the word that I hear when you see the fireworks drift down. The you know? Whee! All right, a big mushroomy thing. Ooh, this is going to be hard, because when you look at a firework up in the sky, it's more like a sunburst, isn't it? We'll just go back and forth. Yeah, I like it. All right. Now I'm going to go down to this blue one that's right here. And I think we should do, let's do a Dairy Queen sundae. Judy, if you're out there, we definitely have to go do that this August. I feel like we got gypped, and I know it was my fault because I didn't want to wait in that DQ line. Earlier this summer we went, when was it, June or July? And people were out the door. So I'm doing hot fudge with marshmallow and nuts and a cherry. Uh-oh. Now I'm doing the drizzle of the chocolate down. Okay. Now, maybe I'll, over here, so that didn't take up too much room, maybe I'll go do a dilly bar and then a buster bar. I hope everyone is working on something tonight, or at least enjoying your Friday night. Maybe I should write the word dilly. I think I'll try that. D I L L Y. Who said that cursive wouldn't come in handy someday, huh? Although my I doesn't have a dot on it, and I'm going to leave it that way. Because I want to go do my buster bar. And then I'm going to come back and do the DQ logo on the cup of the sundae. Okay, buster bar. And the buster bar has peanuts that sometimes show. And then a handle. Ah! Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I guess I'm just going to tie it off. Go to the next one. Another thing I really wanted to try was some very tight quilting on this. So maybe that's what I'll do on this next one. But first, let me cut this off and show you. Because I think you might be able to see. Or not. You see the sundae in the middle? And there's the dilly bar. And then there's the buster bar. and I forgot to do the Dairy Queen logo. So I'll go back and do it. That's where I can do my really tight quilting. This is a nice size quilt to handle. It's not very big from any angle, so it's actually very fun. Oh, and let me look up the logo for Dairy Queen. Oh, I'm going to do a teardrop camper on one too. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, speaking of which, you know, where else we're going to use this is just got tickets to Tanglewood on Saturday, August 3rd. So let me see. What am I looking up? Dairy Queen. Out in Western Mass. Okay, let's look for images. If you weren't hungry before you tuned in, take a look at that. Dairy Queen. Okay, now rather than Dairy Queen, I'm just going to do DQ. It's going to be tiny. Maybe I'll do a whole big one on another blue area. Okay. Can you tell I'm ready for vacation? And yet I just had one, so I really shouldn't be ready. Okay, and then we're doing the D. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade in behind the D and the Q so the D and the Q stand out. Okay. I think I'm going to switch to BSR1, and I'll tell you the difference in a minute. Oh, this is pretty bad, you guys. So the Bernina stitch regulator has two modes, 1 and 2. And 1 is standard. And here's the difference. Number 1, the standard mode, the sewing computer sews continuously at a reduced motor speed, or I'm moving the fabric. Mode 2, no, that's moving the fabric. Okay, so sorry about that. Speed 1 is the active standard. On pressing the foot control, the needle moves continuously. On BSR mode 2, you have to move the fabric in order for the computer to start. So when it was feeling really jaggy, I had it on 2 because it was requiring me to move it. But it's such a little area that I put it on 1 so that the motor just keeps going up and down. And it's okay if I go in the same place. It's such a little area, I want as many stitches covering it as possible, if that makes sense. So, you know, I always go back to my manuals, and then I still just kind of play with it. Jean, if you're out there, hello. Shout out to Jean. And way to go on doing your wedding quilts and all of your commission quilts. They're looking beautiful. Jean is with Cider Mill Quilts. I hope I have that right. And does lots of, what did you say? You have 4 t-shirt quilts in the queue right now? does beautiful work. So if you ever, I hope you're out there, Jean, and good job. And how do you machine quilt them? Or do you have a partnership with Kelsey? Okay, now I'm moving inside to the inside of the D and the inside of the Q. And again, I know this is where we need the overhead camera. Maybe I should get to work on that. Okay, I just did the D, now we're doing the Q. I love to hear what everyone is working on. I love to see Marquet and Norma out there and Sweet Woodruff's down in Florida. Okay. So I'm not going to show you right now. I'll show you in a minute. And what am I going to do here? Just lost the string again. You know what? I'm switching thread. I am going to turn to a superior thread. I like it much better. This has lint in it, and it's just not as nice a thread. So let's go with King Tut. Actually, though, no. I changed my mind again. See, maybe there's decision-making in quilting because I do change my mind all the time. Probably less so for others. But let me load this up and then see who's out there. And say hello to you all. Okay, load it up. I have the fan over here, by the way, because it is hot out. Although not as hot as it was a few days ago here. So Tammy Lawson, I want to show one of your students. I love the orange and turquoise one. And it's loading. No, I can't show the whole thing. I don't know if you can see her face. Hopefully, if you're online, you can see that. Here we go. Another operator error. Isn't she something? Tammy says, every quilt was different, and part of the class was choosing their fabric, and they all made some great choices. And then Susan, welcome Susan Chase. Kids do have a good eye for color, don't they? Because it's a visceral feeling. They don't think too much about it. It's just what makes them feel good, I think. I don't know. Let's see. Who else is out there? Oh, Linda, hello from scorching Southern California. Are you kidding me? 100 or more? First time watching you live. Oh, that's wonderful. Welcome. Enjoying quilting along with you on a cotton candy quilt of Bonnie Hunter's. Ooh, send us a picture. Oh, well, you did. Not a good picture, but I'm webbing it together. Oh, that is beautiful. And it's cotton candy. Oh, I hope people can see that. Oh, does that just look great? Are you anywhere down near? Oh, sent from my Quilt Haven. I love that. I love that. Karen Cluin is down there. Karen, if you're out there, say hi. And Linda may be your neighbor. Oh, Cindy. You found us. I'm so, so glad. Hi. Oh, and thanks. I knew you'd find us, and I knew people would help you. Cindy says she's working on her Merry Mayhem, too. I'm sorry you've seen the results, although I guess you've seen all the clues anyway. I hope you're having fun with it. And Tammy, glad to finally to be able to watch it on time. I'm so glad, too. Tammy, do I owe you some house instructions? Let me know. I know there's one person out there that's requested the house PDFs, and I have not sent it, and I'm remiss. Oh, and Carol, hi. Carol says she's looking forward to using a little bit of Shy's curtain in a quilt. Still thinking about a design for a quilt. We'll keep you and others posted. Good. So glad to hear that. Do it on your time, whenever you're ready. And I do have the curtain right over there. Let's see. Oh, Sheila, hi. Sheila says she's watching and enjoying the Fibercast. Are you alone or are you with family? Oh, Cindy, what about making a sun? What a great idea. I'm going to do that next. That's wonderful. Oh, and Karen. Karen says, hi, I could see the ant. So cute. You'll have the coolest blanket at the picnic. Can't wait to see it in person. Oh, good. I'm glad you could see the ant. Oh. All right, a sun. Let's have a sunburst. What a great idea, Cindy. You know, I may want to turn it all around so that you don't have to be in one direction to look at things. If that makes sense. I literally, it's big enough probably for 4 people to sit around comfortably. And when I get in my little camping fantasy world, I think of the picnic basket, of course, and some grapes. The red grapes are still very good in the stores. What else would I have in my basket? Okay, a sun. I would definitely have wine and cheese. And I'm going to try and pull my thread up to the top. Here we go. Maybe 4 people is a lot. Maybe 2 people. Okay, a sunburst. I'm going to get rid of this. Carol, as you think about whatever quilt you want to make, please know that I have stash here that I would love to have you use if you have any interest in it. Anything. And I suspect if I don't have it, my sister has some in her stash that she would kindly share. This sun has some long rays. How fun is that? You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to try and do echo quilting around the sun rays into the rest of the blue. Let's see what that looks like. Now here's another decision I need to make. As I do the echo quilting, do I stay in the blue area or do I go into this blue? I don't know. I think I'm going to try and stay in the blue area just for now. Before Fibercast started tonight, I was looking at my Bernina book, and I did see that this machine can take the double or triple needles, and I saw Sarah did that on her heron that she showed us a few weeks ago. And what it does is you literally, you have the two threads here. Yeah, you must do that. And then it goes down and it goes into two needles. And what happens is her quilting results in, you just see two perfect lines, like an 1/8 of an inch across. And someone just said hi. Hello, KB. You are the sharing queen. Oh, you mean for the fabric. Thank you. So Karen just said she's all about the sharing. I didn't realize the context, KB. I did something unusual a few days ago. I reserved, or I set up a tour of the new Levi Stadium out in Santa Clara, where the 49ers are going to play. Remember I said I was planning that team meeting? Well, I proposed some go-karts, some K1 speed racing, and come to find out people had done that before, and in fact someone had gotten hurt, which is not funny. It's just kind of classic. So that idea was nixed. So we figure this stadium tour will get us up and walking, right? And quite a good ways before we go eat. And yet, if we do things right, we won't get hurt. And at the end of it, they'll have a professional photographer who will take our photo, which is great. Oh, this is really, my goodness, I'm not very good at this. I could be, I get impatient. This is cool. Okay, now I'm going to put a knot at the end. All right. Oh boy, Cindy, I can't wait to show this to you. Oh, and Cindy, I know I still owe you an answer on Becky. Ugh. We're asking Becky if she will do a trunk show for us for our quilt guild. And part of the problem is she's not in my phone book, so I have to go find her contact information. I will do that this weekend. in between all the parties I'm going to. Don't you know? I have a goodbye moving party down the road. Remember a few weeks ago I walked around the lake? Well, Megan, she has had her whole house packed up. They've had moving vans there for 2 days. And then she and her husband and 3 young children, all of whom are under 5, are hosting the neighborhood to say goodbye at a party. And that's just the type of neighbor they are, and we are going to miss them a lot. And then, so that starts at 2 tomorrow. And then we're going to a family party, or not a party, but a gathering. It'll be nice to see everyone. And I don't know if you can hear, but Bob is in the basement playing with the band. And Carol, when I was shouting at the person at the top of the stairs, I literally thought it was my cousin Davy Millett. I thought he had arrived. It turns out it was Drew. And Drew and Cooper were over here, and they went out in the kayak tonight, and he was just saying goodbye to me. So, again, I apologize to everyone for yelling in your ear. But I'm so glad that he feels comfortable enough to come over and use the kayak. Can't wait to show this to you. All right. Oh, one more little area, and then I'll show you what the echo quilting is looking like around the sun. Okay, let's go here and just cut a few things off. Patty, if you're out there, Patty B, I hope you're doing well. I'd love to see your notes and everything. And, of course, Marquet, I hope I said hi to you. And Anne up in Canada. And Peggy in Australia. Okay. Let me pull this out. Okay. Well, why isn't the camera seeing that? You see the sun? Cindy, we'll have to go on a picnic so you can see it. Great idea, thank you. We'll do more of those. Let's do another ant. Well, no. Let's do something different. We've done, let's see. How about a hot dog? going to be a foot-long hot dog. Not really, but... Okay, I just did the bun and the hot dog. Now let's do the condiments. Let's do a little mustard, a little ketchup, and a little relish. Let's load her up. So now I'm... Only we're going to know what this is, but I think what I'll do is I'll color in that ketchup. Okay, let's do a beer. No, let's do a soda with a straw. You know, like a big glass with a straw. I did more freeform. That was good. And I think what I'm going to do is now I'm going to do those little, is it called McTavishing? Those little circles all the way around it, and it'll be like the bubbles from the soda. Oh, and I think I'm going to put my stitch length down. I've been using 2.0. I'm going to go down to 1.8, see what that does. Nice. So I'm literally just doing circles. Huh. Oh, you guys are so good to humor me. If you have any questions about machine quilting, Google them, like I do. And, you know, we're getting to that point. It's the middle of the summer. And even though this was a new project, it was, yeah, I guess I broke my rule. But we're still doing UFOs for the summer. So, but that said, it's almost time to think about what we're going to do for the fall. Now, I know that I definitely want to do the Bonnie Hunter quilt again, her mystery. I had such fun with the one last year. But I don't think that starts until November. And we have lots of things going on at the Guild this year. I do have a couple of quilts that are already cut out in my closet, and I think maybe I should pull those out. In fact, one of them, I've done quite a bit of, applique, like Hawaiian squares. They're about like that. And I did them using Ellie Senkowitz patterns years ago. Remember, she did the Baltimore Beauties, and she's just a pro at applique. I did them all on muslin. So I took very earthy tones and I appliqued them on. And that probably could, that would look really neat with some scrappiness in between. That would look really cool. Oh, which reminds me, I wanted to show everyone a blast, what felt like a blast from the past. Oh, first, how are we doing? Oh my goodness, it's late. You guys didn't tell me I went over. Well, I was going to wear this shirt, but it didn't match. So I decided not to wear that. I went to the fabric place, and I got one of these old-fashioned slips, Fabric Place Basement, and I got these fabrics, and they were half price. They were about $1 a piece, and I was really happy. And the best part was this reminded me of Fabric Place and Sportswear over near the Denison plant. So with that, thank you all for joining me. I'm so glad to have several of you new tonight. Please keep coming. We do this every Friday night. Invite your friends. Tell your family. Just take an hour for yourself, and it's amazing how much you can get done in 60 minutes. So until next Friday, I'm Lynn Marquedant. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Now I have to reach my mouse that's way over there. Goodbye, everyone.